Good afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday. It's muggy out. It's hot out, but it's a good day. We have two wonderful guests here today. Missing Gregg today, but he'll be back again. As you know, he was here on Monday. It was a great show. We had a great time. It was great to see him, and hopefully he'll be back very soon. But he's doing very, very well. So I want to welcome Vinny, right? I call you Vinny,
Vinny's
but
fine.
you're Vincent.
Well, yeah, Vincent. Vincent's a little professional. Vinny's,
Yeah,
Vinny's a
Vinny
little
is
better.
Italian.
Yeah,
So Vinny Miletti, I love the name.
And my name rhymes too. I sound like a comic character.
Yeah,
Vinny
well,
Miletti.
you're very
Right.
lively, and you are the lead partner and owner of Miletti Law
Yes, ma'am.
in Brooklyn, New York,
Yep.
and you do a lot of other things that we're going to talk about. I'm very happy you came.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
And
It's a
no,
pleasure.
you asked me, should you change? No, you look fine. You wear a suit every day when you're in the judges' chambers, right?
If anyone knows me, I practice in Brooklyn and Kings County. There are no suits ever worn. We'll go into that story
Okay.
when you're ready to go. It's actually a really great story.
Okay, very
But
good.
I'll tell you the same thing I always tell the judge. It was Your Honor, I could wear a $5 shirt on this body. It looks like a $5,000 suit with this. So
Okay, so make sure you're always talking into this.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then we don't
all
hear
right.
you.
All right, fine. Okay.
All right, and we have Miss Beauty, Dawn, Dimilia. You look terrific. I love the hat.
Thank
She is
you.
from Rocking the Road for a Cure. You're a motorcycle owner, driver. You do all kinds of great events. You got a big event coming up we're going to talk about.
Yes.
And you just came back from Texas.
Yes, I dropped my son off at Texas A&M. He's a transfer student from NYIT, third-year student, biomed student, and he wants to be a doctor.
That's terrific. How old is he?
He's going to be 20 on October 20th.
You left your baby boy in Texas? Oh,
I did, and it's far. 3 days to get there.
You drove? You're
Yes.
amazing.
3 days to get back. We had to trailer his motorcycle and all his stuff that he wanted to bring to his new dorm. So,
Whoa.
yes, cutting the strings now.
Oh, did you cry?
I did, but not in front of him.
I would have cried. I would have definitely cried.
3 days is aggressive. That's
He
amazing.
gave me notice. He prepared me for a year because he wanted to go sooner, but when the pandemic hit, it gave me some more time actually because they were doing everything virtual before he applied for the college. So he gave me a full year to prepare.
Really terrific.
Yes.
So now, no one at home. You can have the empty nest, or do you have a
Empty nest.
Someone
I
at
got
home.
my little
Doggy?
doggy, which is a miniature Australian Shepherd. His name is Cody.
Cody?
Yes, he keeps me busy.
Does he grow? Or it's just a miniature.
No,
a
he stays
mini
the same.
shepherd.
You know what? He grows wide.
Oh,
he's
chubby.
Yeah, he's kind of wide for a miniature. He's like 20 pounds. He loves eating. You know what happens in an Italian family.
Oh, yeah.
You know he eats the pasta too. He eats
Oh
everything.
yeah. Well, does he have grated cheese on his pasta?
Yeah, I do. I put it on, and people think I'm crazy. And he won't eat until we're eating. Like he'll wait.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to get into everything. But today is a special day because every day is a national day. Did you know that? And the first thing we do on the show is talk about what national day is it. Today is National Sister Day. So if you have a sister, be nice to her.
I will give mine a shout out later.
Yes. And sisters are great, Nothing like a sister. You could fight and you could still love each other and you could still hug and then fight again all in one day. Or borrow each other's makeup, whatever. I remember when I was young, I had 3 sisters. And unfortunately lost one to breast cancer. So it's in my heart. She's in my book. And, what I do when I think of my sister, I go where we used to hang out. And I sit there and talk to myself, in my brain and think of her and have a drink or a sandwich or whatever. One of her favorite places. Something when you lose someone is good to do,
Yes.
I'm
fortunate enough to have 2 sisters.
So make sure you kiss their ass when you go home.
Yes. 2 beautiful sisters
I'm sure they're part of your...
who are twins.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
And
Jackie and Trisha.
Jackie and Trisha. And where do you live? On Long Island?
I live in Queens, Belrose.
Belrose. That's where I used to go to
Yeah,
school.
I'm right on the border.
Floral Park Memorial.
I never made that step over, you know. I
Yeah,
kinda just
Belrose
stay
is
there.
considered Queens.
Yes.
And then we have the Brooklynite here. So you know everything about Brooklyn and all the places out there. So you have two sisters too?
No, I have one sister. I have Danielle. She
Danielle.
moved now to, I think, Brenningsville, Pennsylvania. So,
Why'd she leave Brooklyn?
I mean, why not? I mean, she should have probably left a long time ago, like the rest of us probably should have. But you know, whatever.
Well, it's
She wa-
true.
You know, you get more for your money outside of Brooklyn, right? I mean, like in Brooklyn, what you pay for a 1-bedroom, you can get 7
I
bedrooms in
know.
a house with a parking lot and possibly a nice car and a pool for the same
Right.
price, you know. So she did the smarter thing than the rest of us, while the rest of us still just sitting there trying to like make ends meet. She
Yeah,
did the
and
smarter
you're
things,
in
like,
the same house for years, the Brooklyn
Oh,
house?
yeah, come on, Italian Americans. We
Yeah,
never,
you
see,
never leave.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're gonna sell your house? You got all the." No. What sell your house? No, I'm gonna die, leave it to kids, and I'm gonna make no money my whole life. That's what we do. Like, we do nothing. That's all we do. And I'm just.
You
that's
just
it.
feed the family,
Yeah, that's
keep
all.
going.
That's what the house is, just a vessel to just
Keep
continuously
going
keep
till
generations.
Till the kids move out.
Until
Now
the
you have daughters or sons?
No. We have no kids.
Oh, no kids.
No kids.
You
there's
got
some-
nephews and nieces.
Yeah, well, godchildren and whatnot. I mean.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean,
That's just like having kids. It costs as much.
Yeah, not for nothing. Like Italian families, like everybody has, like they have the kids exponentially, So one's got four, every four's got 4. So it's funny. So when they had the 10 people they had the 10 people limit for your house or something for Thanksgiving. Like, you guys are out of your mind. There's 10 people. I don't have 10. I have 10 people when I'm going to get a soda in the
Exactly.
kitchen.
Yeah.
I don't 10 people for you out of your.
Yeah,
they're
well, when
crazy.
somebody calls, they say, can I bring so and so? Yeah, why not? But not on every family's like that.
Well, I
They
think-
want advance notice.
No.
Us, you just take another plate out.
Yeah, no, we're bad. We're
Yeah.
bad. We're bad. If you ever come for like food in our house, it's I'm just gonna whip something up.
Are you cooked? You cook? So you do it all.
Yeah,
So let's talk about
definitely,
the law firm. You do traditional legal services. You do expertise for employment and labor law, which is very big right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, now you have obviously, the emperor. I mean, well, the old emperor of New York just got kicked out on a donkey after killing 15,000 people and molesting all his female employees. So that he's kicked out.
But I
no,
guess
but-
we're talking about Coro,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, no, that's. I have a personal love for that man. I've sued him on numerous
Oh,
occasions.
my
and
God.
I'm pretty sure when I call up his office, it's the Miletti file. Oh,
You
Jesus.
see, I had a woman that wanted me to get Como on this show.
Oh.
If I ever do, I'll get you on
you
with her.
call me. I don't need any notice.
Oh,
you
that's
call me
funny.
that morning. I need no notice for that man to come on the show. Oh, he'd be very upset.
That's funny.
Boy, I'd have him here. I'd have him out on a donkey in this place. Let me tell you.
Well, a lot of people feel that way.
But whatever. The point is, though, so obviously employment law in New York is very crazy. So my whole business model basically changed last year. So I only did so. So the way the business worked originally, right? It was small guy in Brooklyn with my Brooklyn business owners. Hey, all of these really need some legal representation, but you obviously can't afford it. So let me tell you what. Let me make my business model. I'll be your in-house counsel, and we'll work with you. I'll give you like a cheap rate, whatever, and we'll grow together. Well, they all grew, and then last year this nonsense happened in 2020. So the whole business model turned because now the businesses had no business and they had no money. So now, it kind of changed a little. Like I used to suing, I was like suing the city. I was fighting with the city. So now with the nurses, now we're taking on all the nurses and everything. And it's just, the whole business model has just gone haywire at this
Sure.
point.
I mean, so you have to do more than one thing.
Yeah,
basically.
it's gone haywire. And like my love in my life is intellectual property. You see my website, it's all comics. I mean, you see my logo, it's a gladiator with a little bicep pose, because, you think about this when you think about a lawyer, right?
Yeah, they better be strong, and obviously you're strong.
So, but I mean, everything.
Look at these muscles.
I have to admit, I am flexing. I am flexing.
Well, the first thing you asked me is, should I suit up? And I'm like, why suit up? You look terrific.
Why suit up? Take it off. You're doing it all backwards, bro. I don't even suit up in the courtroom, so I guess, if I felt comfortable here with that.
But if I was a judge in the courtroom, wouldn't I throw you out because of the way you dress?
Well, it depends who you are. See, if you're in Kings County, right? Kings County is really Kings County is kind of like school on a Sunday, no class, So Kings County is like really lax. You can kind of go in there. I've had situations where I had one judge, specifically Ruckelsman. So if he hears his name here, he's going to I'll be fined or something. But so this guy, so I remember in the courtroom, he tells me, he says, I'm going back and forth. And he's like, so Mr. Miletti, you need an adjournment. adjournment. I'm like, yeah, I need to get rescheduled. An adjournment. Reschedule.
What is adjourn?
So adjournment is like, you reschedule for another
an
day. But
adjournment.
I just don't want to like comply. So like I just want to be that contrarian. So like so the judge is like, he goes, maybe you really ought to get an attorney. What do you mean get an attorney? You see my name on that paper? That's me. I'm the attorney. He's like, yeah, but Mr. Miletti, you're here in a shirt and pants. You look like an attorney. I'm like, yeah, but Your Honor, this attorney, I could wear a $5 shirt. It looks like a $5,000 suit on his body. I mean, he didn't appreciate it. His clerk was laughing, and the
everybody must have been
the
laughing.
court officer was like, with his under his mouth, but
So
the
if
judge
you
was
do
not
that,
happy.
though, don't you antagonize the judge? And
Oh.
isn't that bad for your client?
I don't know. My clients are all crazy. They're just like
Yeah.
me. So they're all. If any of my clients are out there, you're not crazy. None
Oh,
of this.
really? That's right. No, I think if they're they're your clients, then they
Yeah,
know
yeah,
you.
yeah. You guys know what you're getting into. First thing I said, I go, did you watch my videos before you invite me? I hope we have some lead time because there might be a lot of beeps in the editing in this thing. I'm trying, but
So now it says here you do like legal arbitration, mediation. Is that for people like personal?
Yeah,
reasons?
yeah. So a lot of times what happens is, and I have like so I'm a little bit different. I try to if we really have to go to court, I feel like you've already lost.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you need to have the conversation, right? So I would rather mediate between people and have the conversation with you than automatically go into lawsuits. Because once you get into lawsuits, no one wins.
takes time.
Yeah, it takes time, and
It's
attorneys
annoying,
charge
it's
money. No one wins,
stressful.
and it's a waste of time. Because honestly, like you're a business, you want to make money. Being in courtroom all day. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love to charge you, but like at the end of the day, I'd also love to charge you if you were making more in the end, because then you'd give me more. You know what I'm saying? So like we
Exactly.
could.
You're
It's
practical.
right. So you try to be like, I try not to be like, just in the courtroom all day. I try to be like, hanging out. Like, we do business together. We talk about branding. We could do like marketing. There's a lot of other things. So that's what like that stuff
To
is.
help the client.
Yeah, because
Right.
you want to grow. You should always be growing. You should never not grow. You should
Now
always
it's
be growing.
funny. I see here cease and desist letters. I'm going to bring that up. You know
Uh-oh.
why?
Go for it. What do you got?
One of my jobs I had
Uh-huh.
that was over 15 to 23 years ago.
Mhm.
A new person came in over me. She did not like me, and everybody liked me because I was like a boss.
Sure.
And she wound up writing me up and giving me a letter saying cease and desist the following things and sign this letter. And so I didn't, obviously. They weren't true. She was just, against me. And I went over ahead and, she got in doo-doo for that. I didn't lose my job, but it still wasn't comfortable,
So I
you
think
know.
you should be an attorney.
Yeah, well, if I went to school, but I don't go to school, so that's my problem. I never went to college. But the bottom line is, was that something that an employer should use in a review?
No, that's stupid. And if your employer writes you a cease and desist letter, your employer should be leaving their job. Your employee's an idiot. Like honestly, like employees, like look, at the end of the day, right? I represent businesses. Okay, there's got to be, obviously I want my employees to do the right thing and do what they got to do, and I want them to work and I want them to kill themselves for me, but at the same time, I don't want to kill them. It's got to be like it's a symbiotic relationship. Like you both feed off each other. No, if your employer is
As an
sending you-
HR professional, that definitely was a bad thing to do.
yeah, that was stupid. Yeah, no, they should be fired. That was stupid. I'd fire them. That was
So
stupid.
what about these corporate companies now that have HR second party people handling their
That's
HR?
really stupid, right?
Right.
Because
Well,
you-
my opinion, but I'm asking you. You're
oh,
the lawyer.
I can give you a comment on that. So we, without disclosing who they are, but we have that same situation where the HR team is all outsourced, and it's a huge company, millions of employees around the world, and the HR team is outsourced. So we have an issue with the Department of Labor, and then so we're going back and forth. So I'm going to the employer. I'm saying, okay, well, show me where she did something wrong. Where's the record? Oh, when we got rid of her, we don't have her file. The HR company does it. Okay, well, where's the HR company? And the HR company doesn't keep anything because for whatever the rules and
It's
regulations
so
are.
impersonal to
It's
have an HR
stupid.
company as
Stupid.
as part of your employer.
Stupid. It's
Yeah.
stupid. HR should be on scene. They represent the employees.
Exactly.
And again, I'm pro business. I'm the business guy. I fire people left and right. But like HR, like where's your soul? HR is your soul.
Exactly. But
Like,
today, I hate to
takes it
tell
all
you,
soul.
HR people are not what they used to be.
yeah, no, they
You know.
Nobody wants to work anyway.
Yeah, nobody wants to
Well,
work
this
anyway.
is true.
Yeah, so nobody
Yeah,
wants to work
that's very
anyway. So
true.
yeah.
Now, what about harassment? Because we have a lot of that going on too. I mean, he does everything. I mean, really, you really are a one-man band doing
yeah.
a lot of different things.
The emperor was a big advocate for harassment.
Oh.
There wasn't a female employee.
So
Could've
you're
stopped
busy now
groping.
because of the emperor.
Oh, that man has kept me. That man has made me money for over a year now. Oh, that's
Whoa.
great. I'm about to get a second office because of Cuomo.
Oh,
That's great.
So, but even harassment in the workplace, like, stupid things that someone will say about, let's say, if you're disabled or, I mean, even on an interview, sometimes someone will see someone disabled and say, could you handle it? How could you lift a
Yeah.
box? Is that considered discrimination?
I mean, so generally speaking, it has to be pervasive, right? So it can't just be like a one-off comment for the most part. It's got to be, unless it's like really egregious. So if you're really coming and saying some really egregious, offensive stuff, which I won't put on your radio because, obviously I don't want to
No.
but I'm just saying, like, there's some really egregious things you could tell people that I've heard on stupid, conversations. that you're
Exactly.
just
Well,
like,
there's
wow.
so much of that that goes
Yeah,
on.
you're like, wow, like you have no chill. Like, did anybody at any point in time tell you how to be a civilized human being? But no, I mean, like, if it's like, it has to be pervasive, though. Generally speaking, it has to be pervasive. It has to be tied to one of these protected categories. So it has to be like something
Right.
race, national origin, whatever the case is. And if you live in the city, it could be based on a lot of stupid things because New York City has like could be based on being unemployed.
Right,
Like I mean,
right.
New York City's stupid.
Well, I
but
can
like,
remember a lot of things that were said to me. I knew they were wrong, but of course,
Sure.
when you want to stay there, you
Right.
put up with it
Right.
until the time you leave.
Well, and also you could have tough skin too, right? Because like someone like me, you could probably imagine I couldn't care at all.
You
Like-
have to be in your own business.
Yeah,
There's
like
no
I-
way you could work in a corporate
Like
office.
I used to work in AIG. AIG was the
Yes.
largest company in the world. And it was
Insurance,
funny.
right.
We used to joke around and say they had the Vinnie Miletti rider on the insurance policies. Any claims that came from Vinnie Miletti, just denied. You know what you're hiring, denied.
That's funny.
The Vinnie
funny.
Miletti rider.
So what about this private ghostwriting? What is that?
Oh, so all right. So a lot.
I
of
know what
Sure,
ghostwriting
sure,
is,
sure.
but
So a lot of times, so it has to do with like the alternative services I offer, right? So again, I don't want to be in a quorum because I don't think that's the best, I don't think that's the best way
so
for you
you
to
can
handle
write
yourself.
someone's letter
Right,
and
right.
charge
I'll write
them.
your emails, or like I'll oversee your emails. You'll give me like your scrap notes, right? You'll give me like your bullet points, and I will put them
Make
in a
it
way,
better.
make it better,
and
in
it'll
a,
be legal.
to be legal, but it'd also be in a way that I'm playing chess with you. So like I'm trying to think like where we're going with this down the road. So like you'll tell me what your objectives are and what you want to write, and I'll like do it on the side. I'll send it back to you on an email, and and then you could send it like that because again you want to play chess with a lot of times you want to play chess. So kind of like playing a few moves ahead, and that's always like the best way to do it. You catch it on the early end. You catch in the beginning. You don't because again if you're already in a courtroom, you've already messed up. Like you've already screwed up.
Right. So you're saying
and
stay out of court.
You stay out of court.
It's like what people are saying, stay out of the hospital now.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Same
a
premise.
pound of prevention is, what is it? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? So I mean,
Right.
like that's how it's the same premise. Same premise. That's your prevention. That's your corporate prevention. Ghostwriting, corporate prevention.
Okay, so now this whole logo that you have on the emails I've been getting from you
Yeah,
with
boy.
this fighter.
Yeah, it's
That's
my gladiator.
supposed to be you, right?
No,
You-
it's actually technically it's my boy Pooja. So I have.
Pooja? Who's
all right.
Pooja?
So have you ever been on my? Have you ever seen the Instagram every now and then?
Yeah.
I got a guy that I work out with, really handsome. All right, so my wife owns a gym, right? She owns a Fit Life with Dawn. When the Emperor closed the gyms down last year, she was like, "What should we do? We should definitely open up 24/7. I mean, then you should tell this guy to go screw himself, and you send him to me, So we definitely kept the gyms open, and then so she's still training. So now we built something. Now we have like a private structure now because whatever she had some like little issues with her landlord, whatever the case is. They had a difference in opinion where they want to go. So don't worry, baby. We'll build our own structure. So we have our own structure now. So I work out in the nighttime with my boy Pooja. Darius Pujanowski is the name of the Polish powerlifter. My friend David is a Polish guy. So now she'll talk about harassment. There's a perfect example. He's Pooja, so I stereotype him, and because he's Polish, so I give him a Polish name, and so perfect example of what not to do in the court in a work environment. But so he likes the double bicep pose. It's like his favorite pose. And if you ever see me on Instagram, he's always with his shirt off. So this was actually modeled after him.
The Pooja.
Yeah, this was actually modeled after Pooja's double bicep pose. I'll show you on the phone. I'll show you on the phone later some pictures. And I'll probably have a little
interesting.
some with the shirt off too, but
Yeah, yeah.
That's fine. You can put us all over
So
the
do
internet.
you
I like them.
build muscles at your wife's gym or you go somewhere else?
No, I work out exclusively in like my wife's gym. So she has
Really?
Yeah, so she has the Fit Life with Dawn. She's a holistic honey bunny.
Fit Life with Dawn.
Yeah, the Fit Life with Dawn. So she's like a holistic honey bunny. She's very into like
Vitamins, health food,
vitamins,
and
health food,
vegetables
like
and
everything
fruit.
having to do with like like salmon delivered by like an Eskimo from Alaska by himself for $300 a pound. You know, I mean, this is what we do in my house. You know, so
She's something.
Nah, she's a savage.
She must really read and research an awful lot.
Oh, and she has like 5 certificates. She's
Certified.
Yeah, like a bunch of them. Like, first of all, she was supposed to be a teacher in school. So she did all the school thing, you know, and she did the master's program, and I think like the 4 classes, the 4 credits after, whatever the case is, and then she just like whatever. I think she went into fitness, and it took off at that point. Now like you go to my house now.
She's like a stick.
It's no. She's like, no. First of all, she's smoking hot. Like, it's actually funny. When I used to go to the gym, they used to be like, the kids would be like, "Hey, who's that girl? You see that girl on the treadmill?
That's my wife."
Have you seen what my wife looks like? You think this?
That's
you know. So like, my
hysterical.
wife is like smoking, but no, she's like.
She sounds like a great lady.
She's
Look,
a
when
good
you
girl.
talk about your wife, you talk always smiling.
Yeah.
I heard you
Yeah,
on the phone. It was like unbelievable.
Yeah, nah, she's good. She's good. And we've been together 15 years now. She's a good girl.
15 years.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, we've been married 10. We've been together 15. You know, it's really funny. It's what's really funny is, you know, when it gets funny when you're saying stories like, hey, remember when I was with this girl? Oh wait, that was you. Oh no, I guess I wasn't with this girl. I guess it was you this whole time.
Oh,
Wow, that's really
God.
weird.
That's funny.
That's really unusual. Okay, well then, moving on. You know.
That's
So,
funny.
but yeah, so I work out exclusively in my own. Besides, it's better
in
off
your own
anyway.
gym.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with her in the studio. Like I work out exclusively myself with my husband Pooja in the nighttime.
Oh, he's
you know.
your work husband.
Yeah, that's my work husband. You would
Pooja.
think I was a polygamist. Like my wife, my husband. I was an equal opportunity polygamist. You would think.
Very good. So now, you were saying that you sometimes work with some charities that you would be willing to work with us on something,
Oh
right?
man, yeah, no. So
I have something coming up in a few months. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to get involved more because honestly, like one of my favorite, like every year, like one of my favorite charities is the Children's Village, the Children's Village, and like whatever. I mean, I don't like obviously want to like talk about my family too much, but whatever. I didn't like grow up great, so I understand these kids, you know. And like you have like teenagers that are like orphans, and it just like breaks my heart because no one's gonna like adopt them. They're like teenagers, you know. And, like no, and it breaks your heart. So you have like that's like one of my favorite things. So like every year, like I'll try to have like some kind of thing
Party.
for them. Well, not party, but like I try to have like some kind of like fundraiser where I'll
That's
double like
very
whatever the money
nice.
is and whatever every year, you know. So like I
You're
mean,
a charitable and you're a giving person, which this is the time of year now
yeah,
that
yeah.
it's supposed to be done. you
Yeah,
know.
so, like-
now till Christmas
Right,
is
so like
it.
my birthday is November 22nd. So like I'll always like on my birthday I'll always put like something online for like the charity, you know, like I mean, and I'll disconnect I'll take off my birthday so nobody knows what it is, but then you'll know just because it's like my annual like charity thing I do. So I'm trying to get like involved a little more in like charity.
Well,
like,
I
I'm,
can
like,
get you involved in something. 'Cause
Yeah.
we'll be doing something here soon. so.
Yeah, like I'm definitely something I'm trying to do because like you know,
It's good for your
there's
soul.
so much despair.
It's good for your heart, and
There's
it's
so
good
much-
for your business.
Yeah, there's so much despair. Like you know, I can't. Like
Yeah.
this year was so much like, and even with the nurses, listen to these nurses
Well,
now.
you're going through a lot with the hospital
Yeah,
and the
there's
nurses.
so much despair with them. I can't like, oh God Almighty. I think you get so angry, you know. You want to
So
like,
a nurse will call you just because she's fed up at work with the whole thing with this COVID and all, right?
it's nonsense.
Yeah.
It's all stupidity. And you know, some of them are like I don't know. We probably didn't have. I didn't have the conversation with you, but I had this conversation just on the way here. I just had this conversation. I'm just like, you know, you feel so bad for them because, like, if there ever was anybody in the world that needed, like, that was the job for them. Like, these people
They love being
They
nurses.
love being there. We have some of them that they're there from 1996 without a raise, without nothing, and they're fine. They were fine till this year. Everything was great. They wiped the same ass every day. They did the same bedpan every day. You know, no problem. And now this, and last year you were a hero, and this year you're a leper. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
like
terrible.
I can't. Like my blood
Well,
boils.
you'll win for them, that's for sure. That's
Like-
why they're calling you.
Like my blood boils.
It must be like one tells the other, and you're busy as all hell.
I think you could just. You know, it's funny. If you ever go to my YouTube channel, you could almost just see it. Like I can't speak about this on a video without
Well,
my
it bothers you.
blood
You can
boiling.
see. You're a very,
like,
you're a very passionate
like
man.
I think I just put on 3 pounds. I think I just got 3 inches wide.
You look
because of
like
my
you just got a
frustration.
little redder.
I just got like angry. Like I'm in a good mood. Can't tell though, but I'm in a good mood. Great mood.
This is a good
This
mood.
is a
I
good
can tell.
mood.
I would not want to see you in a bad mood, to be honest with you.
This is a Cuomo nurse and
Yeah.
child good
Well,
mood or whatever that is.
obviously, you have a real fine, upsetting kind of time when it comes to what's going on in the political world. So, But
I try to stay out of politics.
yeah, well, that's the best thing.
I'm trying my hardest to stay out of it, but
You
know,
really
just,
should, because you could wind up in trouble,
yeah.
And especially, you know that, you're a lawyer.
That's why I don't work for a company anymore.
But I would think that you win a lot of cases.
You never really try them because you always settle out.
Well, you
almost,
settle out.
almost always settle out.
So
you know,
you don't let a client go to trial. It's not
well,
worth it.
Right. You know what? I tell you right now, with these nurses though, like, so we have three buckets with the nurses, right? You have the ones that have the religious exemption stuff. You have the medical stuff, right? And then you have like the
Personal.
I'm going to say conscientious objector because I have much vulgar language in my emails. If you're ever on the email list, I have much vulgar language in my emails. But like this is the group of people I don't want them to settle. I'm like, ladies, we will fundraise. I'll drop my rate down to almost nothing. I don't give a shit. We'll fundraise. We'll find something and go where I don't care.
You want them to get their money.
I want them to
well,
raise
that's
hell.
probably what they want. That's probably what they want.
Money's fine. I want them to raise hell.
So now, how do people find you? What is your website? What's going on? Like, how do they reach you?
Sure. So my website is very creative. It's MilettiLaw.com.
MilettiLaw.com.
Very creative. It's my last name, law.com. I'm on Facebook. Everything's like Miletti Law on Facebook, YouTube. Facebook banned me, so I can't do no Boost anymore because
They banned you from Boost.
Indefinitely.
But you're still on Facebook because I noticed you.
Yeah, no, I'm still.
We
I just
became
can't,
friends.
yeah, I just can't boost anymore, so I can't just be boosted anymore.
They can stop you from boosting. Why? You did it so much.
No, because I got too many flags for because everything's like everything's like anti-establishment.
Oh, so then
got
you
too many
say
flags,
bad things.
Yeah. Well, I what's funny was I'll get like I pushed back on a lot of them. They've actually disconnected my YouTube, but then they gave me back because I appealed. But Facebook they'll stop boosting me now. So whatever, it's fine. I don't care. I don't care.
Right.
Word of mouth
Well,
gets out. I don't care. See this
People-
face?
Yeah.
See this resolve?
Well, I get it. I definitely get it. So, what is your best client? Like, what's the kind of client that you're looking for?
My favorite kind of client is the aggressive business person that just always wants to grow. And like everything's a brand. That's my favorite kind of client. I mean, like I like to we'll just have some conversation, and then something will just come up.
And it comes
and then,
in your brain,
and then we're ready. Yeah, and
yeah.
so for instance, we made some kind of comment just like the other day, right? So we have a joke, can't curse, but F birds with long necks, right? So we have like a joke, F birds with long necks, and then you're like, yeah, we're gonna come with a clothing line, you have like Lacoste, you have Le Tigre, and Le Swan. Le Swan, we should do that. Clothing line, and just like that kind of like synergy that just always builds.
So you brainstorm a lot.
Yeah, like that's my favorite kind of client, like that just always got crazy going on and just always chaos. Have you ever seen the show, not the old one, but the new one, Dynasty? They redid Dynasty.
Yes.
This is my hero. If you want to see this is the man I want to be in my life. Probably not, his morals probably aren't that great, but his life, that is crazy. The guy that does Blake Carrington, the guy that does Blake, I need to be Blake in life. I need Blake, I need to be living in fire 24/7. I need to be Blake. This is what I need.
Blake.
That's what I need. Blake is my hero. Blake, this is why I want to be in life. I need more fire. All the fire.
Very nice. So thank you for chatting with us. We're still going to chat more, but we're
Sure.
going to
I know, I'm
go
over here.
over to, no,
I'm
you're
happy
not
you moved
over.
over.
Dawn, Dimilia, I know you, about 5 years, I think.
Yes.
You do a lot of great charity, and I know that you overcame breast cancer twice.
Yes, I did.
And look at you, you're gorgeous.
Thank you.
Every time I see you, you look beautiful. And I know sometimes you're very stressed, too.
Could be, yes.
Yeah. So now tell me about, first of all, let's talk about, how this all happened. When did you start the organization? After you got better or during your illness when you were going through
I got
it?
diagnosed initially in 2007.
Right.
And while I was going through treatments, I started the organization.
So you did that to keep yourself going.
Yeah. To keep myself going, and then through my journey figured out what people needed, what they were getting, and what they needed really for free, because
because everything stops when you're not working.
Yeah, and then you hit financial toxicity with being diagnosed with cancer, any disease really, and then there's certain things that could help you health wise, but you can't afford it. So I wanted to make that accessible for people, and also not everybody has support systems.
That's very true.
I was lucky enough to have, the big Italian family, so it's a support system. But I realize so many out there does not have support.
Right.
And, just to be support for other people is really important, emotionally for them, mentally, for them to get through that challenging time of breast cancer.
So you have a lot of these. I see in your book. There's a lot of things that people can, get: case management, beauty consultations, housekeeping to clean the house, massages, nutrition, yoga, Reiki, meditation. This is all through your program. Like you just call that number for the service.
Yes.
That's fabulous.
So we offer a variety of different health modalities to our patients, and it really depends on what their need is at the time. So our nurse case manager goes in and does an initial intake, or when the pandemic hit, we're doing more over the phone type of thing.
And then they get referred to one of the places where they
We
can
have
go?
people who work for us. We have employees who do massage, who do yoga, who do housekeeping. However, when the pandemic hit, all those in-home services
Went
we
away.
had to stop.
Yeah.
But we, unfortunately, I got diagnosed again end of 2019 into 2020, which put me in a position where I was going through now my second bout of breast cancer, but during the peak of the pandemic. So what I realized, we started getting phone calls of people really just needed the basics at this point, like everybody else: toilet paper, food, PPEs. So we kind of flipped around our program very quickly, where we started making up PPE packages for
What is
all
the
clients.
PPE?
So, we'll have masks in there.
Oh, that
we'll have
for the
Lysol.
pandemic.
Yeah, things
Okay.
for the pandemic, general things they'll need, while they are going through treatments. We then have post-op bags as well for when they come out of surgery, things you need that you might have to buy on your own.
Sure. Well, that's
Instead,
all
we supply
expensive.
it for them. And then we started a program where we teamed up with pantries, local pantries. The People's Pantry we teamed up with, the Trinity Vineyard Church and Rockville Center, and we call this whole thing our World Strong campaign.
World Strong.
Yeah, so once pandemic hit, we started teaming up more with people. And even our post-op bags come from Chi Sigma Gamma Nursing Honor Society of Farmingdale. They're the ones that donated to us so we could distribute it to our patients.
That's wonderful.
So we've done a lot of teaming up with different
and you
organizations.
do actually drop these things off, or they pick them up?
No, we have volunteers who, we work with, who drop off everything. We coordinate every week for people to get food deliveries. And now, being that people have started getting vaccinated, we are starting back going into the home, but obviously, we have certain protocols, policies, and procedures that we have to follow with CDC guidelines. But we're trying to get back into that. We were doing the entire time, instead of having our employees who were housekeeping going into the home during the pandemic, we had, licensed and insured housekeeping companies instead.
Oh, okay.
Just for the protection, because they, were more up to snuff with all the guidelines. So we'd have the cleaning services then go in if they
So how
needed
many
it.
people work for you normally, not since the pandemic?
Prior to pandemic, we had about 8 people prior
And
to.
you have an office, or you do this all from your home?
We have a basement office,
you have
and
a basement
so we
office.
have no overhead. We save on overhead so we could give more to
Where
our
you
clients.
live, obviously, in your
Y-
basement in
you
your
know,
home.
yeah, so we could give more to our clients. And mainly things come out of the nursing office, which is in Little Neck, because they're the ones that really coordinate the care for the patients. They're the ones that do the initial intakes for the patients, and they see what they need. And it may not only be a service, it could be wigs, prosthetics, it could be a lymphedema sleeve
Right.
that they need, different things to help them get through this time that the insurance doesn't cover. So we try to provide them with those type of things
Now,
that
is
are
it
not
strictly
covered.
breast cancer, or is it other kind of cancers that you work
It's
with people?
strictly breast cancer. We've taken a few in.
Because you didn't want to say no?
Yeah, but we keep it, we would love to help everybody with cancer, believe me. It's just the funding is not there.
Sure. It's
So-
hard to raise money.
Yes.
Very hard to raise money. I get it, because I've done it.
And especially
And,
during the pandemic, we had, we used to have a lot of in-person, fundraising events.
well, it'll come back once you
Yeah.
get. But now you have a big event coming up with the motorcycle crew.
Yes, we
So
do.
let's talk about that. It's when? Sunday, October 3rd.
Yes, Sunday, October 3rd, we have our 12th annual motorcycle run for breast cancer. And it will be leaving out of Marjorie Park. Registrations from 9 a.m. to 11. Kickstands up at 11 a.m.
Where's Marjorie Park?
in Massapequa.
Oh, okay. Never heard of it.
And it's going to be police escorted run, 58-mile run, and we're going to head down, Robert Moses, Ocean Parkway, heading west, come back up
I
on
wouldn't want to
Wandsworth.
be on the road near this.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I
It's
know,
a
but
beautiful
I'd be
run.
afraid.
It's a beautiful run.
I'll
and
come and help, but I wouldn't be
you
on
could
the
be
road.
on the sidelines with the pink flag.
Yes.
And by the way, it's not only for motorcycle riders. So if you want to just come to the after party, which is at the American Legion in Massapequa, post 1066, come support us, and there'll be lots of vendors. There's food trucks, raffles. We're going to have live music, DJ. It's going to be
Sounds like a lot of fun.
yeah, we're going to give out trophies for, different categories for the motorcycle, show bikes. It's going to be a lot to do. So I know not everybody rides, but come on by later. You could give a donation. It's $20 for general admission.
Just to come and hang out.
Yeah, and children are 10. And you could find all of our information and purchase pre-registered tickets on our website, rockingtheroadforaCure.org/Tix, TIX. And you also could scroll our website to see more things that we do for our clients.
It's very impressive.
So, we are trying to expand. We're trying to look for more financial backing, and we're hoping for a great turnout for this run. So that
I'm sure you'll get it because everyone's tired of not doing anything.
yeah.
Everybody's ready to go as soon as you post something.
And the good thing
And
is
outside,
right, it's mainly
you have
outside
a better chance.
for those of you, concerned about the new variant. But also, the American Legion will have their bars open, so you could go inside and get cocktails. And we will be showing the Jet game that day on a big screen for those that want to go inside and have some drinks. And if you want to have some drinks, you can still take the drinks outside
Oh,
as
that's
well.
very nice.
And just so everybody knows, the money from the bar all goes to our veterans. So, come and support. So you're supporting not only breast cancer, but you're supporting our veterans as well.
So you have a double wham,
Yes.
which is very nice because, you have two great organizations that are there for the people.
Yes. Very
So
important.
do you have music at this also?
Yes. We have a band called Crisis who's performing.
Oh, it's a live band.
Yes. And another band called G-String.
G-String.
Yes.
That's a hell of a name of a band. Jeez.
Yes.
Are they men or women?
Well, there's both. Both in both bands.
Do we know that band? Oh,
Yes.
they do play here. Okay. see
Yes,
that?
they do. They're great musicians. They've been around for years, both bands, and you'll really enjoy it. And then we have DJ Joey and Company, who'll be DJing in between, some of your top hits and stuff. So we're going to
That's
have
great.
a wide variety
So
of
it's
music.
going to be mainly inside the party, and outside there'll just be things.
No,
to-
we're going to mainly keep everything outside.
Oh.
Even the band will have a stage, a
Oh,
mobile.
so it's like a walk around fun.
Yeah, like a festival. It's going to be a festival. And inside, as I said, will be where you could get your cocktails, your soft drinks, and you could watch the Jet game. So for your Jet fans out there, you won't miss the game, even if you come to our run and support us. So it's, mainly going to be outdoors. And let's all pray that we get great weather.
Yeah,
for that
well,
day.
I think you will. Somebody's going to watch and take care of you, for sure.
Yes.
Now, did you ever hear of a thing called where these people that have breast cancer can write to angels and angels write them letters? Have you ever heard of that?
I have heard of that
Because my sister had
organization.
that, and it was such a great program.
Yes.
And she became not friendly, but they used to send her little things in the mail, and I thought that was very sweet, and she never forgot it.
That is a very nice thing. Do you know the name of the organization?
No, I don't remember because it was quite a while ago. But she loved it,
Yeah.
so I thought maybe you might have heard of them.
There is so many wonderful breast cancer organizations out there here on Long Island, mainly, But we do a lot of cross-reference referrals. You know, there's so many people in Long Island
Yeah,
that have
it's
breast
huge.
cancer or any cancer that there's not enough organizations to even go around to help every person that needs help who has breast cancer. So we all like to work with each other. This is not a competition.
No, well,
This
you're
is-
all here for the same reason.
we could refer somebody, like I'll get a referral from a hospital, and then, when we've run out of funding for that particular person, we start to refer them over to another person or maybe another organization, or maybe another organization provides something we don't. Like sometimes some organizations, they'll cover for bills, like your mortgage one time, or your rent, or a car payment. So depending on what their needs are, we resource out as well.
So you do a lot of referrals as
Right.
well.
And we help them to find things that they need.
So this is a full-time job and then some.
I mean, thank God for the board and all our volunteers.
Right.
And,
A board means that a
all-
lot.
everybody who's helped along the way. This definitely, I can't do all this myself.
Well, a board, if you have a good board, then that's a good thing.
Yeah, I have a very strong board, and I have some wonderful volunteers, I have to say, who have really, who really even coordinate my volunteers for me. I have volunteers who coordinate my volunteers, and volunteers
that's very
who
important.
coordinate the food delivery. So as we're growing, and I, get to know my volunteers better to see what they're good at, and they're willing to take on different roles, then it helps us to expand then.
So let's talk about the hats. You both came with hats on. I like them both. This is attractive. My God. Really nice. Is that a special hat?
This was my souvenir from Texas when I went to drop my son off at Texas A&M. So I do like wearing cowboy boots, and I do.
Yeah, I
like
saw some
hats.
pictures of your hot number.
So of course, when I went to Texas, I said I need to get a hat
Real-
that has some
real-
pink in it for breast cancer.
It's really beautiful.
But I tend to like to wear the blacks. So
And you have the greatest hairdo for a hat because you got long hair.
and I got this one in Fort Worth.
And I see you have some pink in your hair. So,
Yes, I have
which matches the
pink
hat.
extensions, which we'll be selling at our run, by the way.
Really?
anyone Yeah, we're going to have a lot of swag there that we're selling, and all the money will go to Rockin' the Road to help with these programs that we
so
provide.
you know the new word for tchotchkes, swag.
Oh yes, swag.
Yeah, I only learned that word recently because I was told I was calling it wrong. Did you know that tchotchkes are now swag?
Well, I can tell you right now, we have somebody who, so I have a buddy in Jersey who we're trying to get him to like serve some of my, serve some people that we want to have problems with, sue, whatever. And I come with a lot of gear. I'm big on
Yeah,
my
you
gear.
brought us. Look at this. He brought us some nice flashlights. Very,
So-
very nice.
So the
Yes.
whole idea is, so the
These
whole
are
idea.
great.
Well, because because when you're thinking about a lawyer, of course you're thinking about your flashlights, right? Because that just makes sense. You're like, man, I need a flashlight. Man, I know this great lawyer. Oh wow, it's on a flashlight too. But it's just funny. So like the whole so I come with like a lot of swag. So my boy's like he's gonna serve the swag. Well, please serve all my adversaries like that. Please leave them served with swag. Get out of there.
That's really cute.
Please, I'm begging you, and get that on video so we can trademark that.
That's
so we can use
great.
some of those IP, and I can actually be a lawyer for like a minute. Let's do that.
And what about this very nice hat? I love the color turquoise. Well, my living room is all turquoise now.
Well, this hat is covering this very nice bald head.
Oh.
So I didn't have time. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have time to shave.
But what
so,
is it?
like,
Is
you
that
know.
part of your emblem on the hat?
Oh
Or-
no,
this is something
no,
else.
this is Under Armour. but this is all bald. It's just covering the bald spot.
Yeah, well,
You know,
we like bald men here.
I've
at
been
the
going
show.
bald since 16 years old, so it's
Really?
really funny actually. So we have so everybody, Italian family, not the superstition is that when one family member dies, another family. That's how you have kids, right? One's got to die for kids. To
Yeah,
come.
well, you got to keep the name going.
So I was my grandpa Vincent. The only thing I inherited from him apparently was his baldness at the age of 16. My father, everybody has this great
Big,
head of
long hair. Most
Everybody's
Italians are not bald.
Nice head,
Bald.
Me, I'm the only one. I was like 16 years old with the widow's peak. I'm like, nice, thanks, guys. Why couldn't I get the big biceps in the family? No.
Well, you got the biceps.
The amount of things I had to do to my liver to get
I
these
was
biceps.
just gonna say you probably took some heavy duty medication.
Well, that's also probably why I'm bald. But I'm gonna. What was that charity, by the way? I might be needed in a year.
Oh, jeez, really? But you must really work out. I
Oh,
mean,
I don't know.
you
I
don't
try-
get that way from just taking a pill.
I try I try to hit it like 4 or 5 times a week. There was a point in time where I was really into it. I mean, I was like every 2 hours I was eating my meals, and then what happened was when I started working on my own, I got busy. I was like, all right, that's impossible. Well, I mean, there was a point where I was on point. I was like, oh no, 128 ounces of water a day, everything grilled chicken and potatoes, protein, all this
So
every
you
day.
eat very healthy.
Not no more. Now I eat like Bubba and and Taco Bell.
What's a
and
bubacoo?
It's like a local in Jersey. It's like a local
What's a-
Mexican spot.
A
I guess
Bubacoo?
it's called like Bubacoo's or something.
heard of
I
that.
guess
Have
it's
you?
like the Chipotle. It's like
Oh,
Chipotle,
okay.
but not chain. It's like a normal. It's just bad for you. Like I'm just like, it's funny too. Like I'll go with cooked food. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna eat this.
Well, I'm sure you have a lot of Italian food too at home. Your wife cooks.
Oh no, my wife doesn't cook. No.
No?
Oh no. First of all, let's be clear. My wife's culinary expertise is canned, frozen, and takeout. That's her 3 culinary expertise. But it's actually really funny. When you go to my house, it's just nothing but seaweed everywhere. Plus, she's super healthy.
Well, she's healthy,
Yeah.
so
You don't
she
want her to
doesn't
cook
really-
for you. You're like, you'll that's it. You're like, you know what? I don't need this diet. It's fine. I'll be fat. I'm cool. I'm out.
You eat out, right?
Yeah, that's all right. I'll do barbecues. You could do your salmon and your kale. I'm gonna go do burgers. Thank you.
That's so funny.
I
And
appreciate
what about,
that.
do you cook?
Yes, I do.
You're a good cook, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, my father owned a pizzeria restaurant, so he was a
Oh,
chef.
Really?
and-
Local or
In Brooklyn.
Oh,
Back in the day. So between him and my grandmother, they taught me to cook.
yeah.
Homemade pastas, all the nice Italian foods.
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff
just
like
something.
that.
Once I don't know how you are, but when I cook, it's like everything's just out. You just a little of this, a little of that.
No measuring
Never did
is-
recipes
Right.
ever. My mother never did. You just watched her, and that's how you learned how to cook.
And I grew a lot of tomatoes this year, which
Oh, that's great.
was on my bucket list. My grandparents always jarred tomato sauce for the whole year.
Yeah,
And
a
I
lot of
got
people
enough
do.
this year to do it, but I just don't have the time. I
Yeah.
have this run coming up.
Well,
But-
one of our gals here, Jenny, does it. She just did. How many did you do? Tomatoes. She wants to do tomatoes. 15 bushels.
Yes. And how many jars did you get?
4 jars. 200 jars out of
nice.
15 bushels. That was good.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I
You
couldn't
definitely don't
believe
have
what
time
she
for
did.
that.
That's a
She doesn't have
lot
time
of
for it. You definitely don't have time. That's a lot of jars.
a lot of work. A lot of jars.
That is like, all right, when COVID hit and everybody was stuck in the house, yeah. But was it the season of the tomatoes?
Yeah, we have some people.
Prego was fine.
We
Prego
have
was
some
fine.
people calling in here. Carrie Ann, Susan, Kimberly Coco, Rosemary Gridley, Susan Kay. Yeah, some people saying great hosts. They liked you guys.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I'll take questions. What do you got?
No, I don't have
Oh,
a
don't take
question,
questions?
but maybe
I
there
was-
might be a question
I was
coming in
I was
soon.
trying to tell. I was telling one of my friends, like, hey guys, just call in and say something stupid, and just be like, question for the guy on the end there.
The one with the turquoise
The one
hat.
with the turquoise hat. and the
Really? What man?
boldness.
What man wears a turquoise hat?
I don't. What lawyer has a double bicep
Well,
gladiator?
let me tell you something.
There's a lot of questions like that.
The
for
fact
me.
that you're a lawyer and you do take chances to go to court like that is
it,
really
baby.
shocking.
That's it.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I just,
Great.
They
Just
know
the
who
on-
he is.
Yeah. I'm going to say the one thing
You
about
have a
it.
label.
Yeah, the good thing about it is you know who I am. You know
Right.
when I come in, you know what you're getting.
and they
you
probably
know.
say, "Here he comes."
There's this guy. There's the Miletti law firm again. There he is cursing, rappers of protein bars everywhere, all over the place. There he is. Baby wipes in the bathroom. That's him. That's him.
That's funny. Well, you win. You don't get to court too much, which is very good. That means you settle cases before it gets to court.
Yeah, no, if you get a court, you lose. But look, you know the mantra of the firm. Well, we don't win in the court, we can win in the parking lot outside. So it's okay. Give him the check. We'll
Yeah,
get it back.
right.
We'll get our man in the end.
Yeah, that's very good. I like that. So we have a thing here that we ask questions to. It's Gregg who isn't here today. His nose. So
All
we
right.
always ask the nose a question at the before the end of the show, and the nose will give you an answer. You may like it, you may not. So ask the nose a question, Mr. Miletti.
X knows a question. Why? All right, I got a question. Why do hot dogs come in packs of 8 and hot dog buns come in packs of 10?
As he said, please. In other words, why are you asking me such a question?
I don't know. I am not impressed. I am not impressed. I want my money back from that nose.
Okay.
The
And what
nose
about you? The
knows.
nose.
Okay. I want to know if this run's going to be successful, and I'll have at least 1,000 motorcycles.
That's not a good answer. Let's ask it again. Oh,
I
that's
I think
too-
his nose is defective.
That's
Oh
the
my
negative
gosh.
answers today, Mr. Nose.
Mr.
We're
Nose
putting
doesn't
you
know.
away.
So
We
you're
don't want
fired.
it.
I see you've been nice.
We
like
sometimes
quarantine.
have a lot of laughs with the nose.
Quarantine this thing.
Yeah, we sometimes
He's got a big
do.
nose anyway. He's
Yeah.
got
Well,
some
yeah,
snots
well,
coming out
yes.
of
We
there.
always say it's Greg's
I
nose.
was thinking we put the pens in there or something later.
You
like
want
a
to put
pen
tens in?
holder.
There we go with pens
It's
in
like,
his
it'd be like
nose.
a pen holder.
So, what advice do you have for people today with the situations that we're in? Like to me, I tell everybody, every day is a gift. Live your life every day. Do what you want, and don't sweat the small stuff. That's my, vision going forward, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
It's very true. I mean, just with everything I've gone through health-wise, I've felt that way.
Right.
Really day to day, living life, living life up still, and you really don't know day to day what's going to happen.
Right.
Whether it's the pandemic, whether it's something with your health. I am grateful
Sure.
that I am able to do some of the things I do, because I see people that had breast cancer and now it's metastatic,
Yeah.
and it's really bad, or have MS and they're in a wheelchair.
Right.
So I thank the Lord every day
Right.
that I could do what I could do, and until those things are taken away from you, you really
Don't realize.
don't realize. And what irks me the most is when people start complaining what I think is trivial things.
Yes.
And to me,
Any
and
kind
it
of-
may not be
yes.
to them, but it's like when you go through certain things, like those little teeny things, you shouldn't let bother you.
You're right, absolutely. I mean, even with, if you've never been disabled before and you fall and get hurt, you really realize, shit, I need help. And not very many people sometimes are realizing that when you're standing there and you might need a hand, they just walk by you. But then there's the other people that are really, really nice, So I think when someone goes through any kind of trauma, they come out better on the other side once they get better.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
Well, listen, along those lines, look, at the end of the day, right, considering the life I live, the fact I sleep 3 hours a night, all of my bad habits I have in my life, look, every day I wake up, it's a blessing, okay? I only pray for two things. I only pray for two things. That when my time comes, it's right, and I go in my sleep and I don't have any pain involved. But but at the end of the day, every single day I wake up, it's a blessing, because my life is psychotic. Listen, if you survive the New York City MTA, you'll survive COVID, you'll survive all this nonsense around you. I just, look, people getting shot in broad daylight. This is a crazy world we live in, right?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, you should live a life of passion. You should live everything you want to do, but don't be a jerk off in the process. Be nice, be decent about it, And look, at the end of the day, right? You don't have to shit on people around you either. That's a big thing. Don't that's the part that drives me crazy the most.
No,
when
if
I watch,
somebody is not nice to you, then you just
right.
move on.
At the
And
end
you
of the
move
day,
away from them.
Yeah, at the end of the day, look, I mean, if it's not guaranteed to you tomorrow morning, I mean, you see people get, like I said, I can't get over. There was a point 2 weeks ago where people were getting shot midday, literally midday,
Yep.
and you're and I'm just like, guys, y'all crazy. You guys
Yeah.
are crazy. I don't want
Right.
no part of this shit,
Right.
But it's just saying, be
You got to
easy,
live every day,
peaceful,
and you got to
be
be
nice,
strong.
help yourself,
And and you got to do acts of kindness.
and live with passion.
And
with
passion. Well,
Live
I'm
with passion.
passionate, but I'm not as passionate as you.
Live with passion.
I would be on the floor. I'd be so tired. I'd be exhausted. As it is, I get tired
I
from
sleep
talking.
I sleep 3 hours a night. I had a guy one time, one of my clients, he was like, yo, every time I pick up the phone from you, he was like, I got to get ready.
You
Like,
could
I
be
need,
one
like-
of those talkers that talk, they talk so fast that they do it in
I
60
should do the
seconds.
FDA commercials,
Yeah, you
right?
really could.
Take this.
Yeah, you could definitely do that in your second career. No, you could do that. Think about that in your second career.
Like
when you,
19th career.
yeah, exactly. There you
Got a lot
go.
going on. I mean, I don't have as many careers as you have charities though. You're busy. I'm listening
Oh,
to you.
well,
I'm like,
she works
yeah, I'm
hard.
listening to. I'm like, wow, that's impressive.
It is. She's very impressive.
I'm like still changing my underwears, and she's got 4 charities going on. And I'm
Yeah,
just like,
but Dawn is an impressive lady, and she's been through a lot.
yeah,
and she gets it.
You get a lot of shit done. That's impressive.
Yeah,
Very
you
good.
get it, Dawn.
Try.
So everybody gets a little goodie bag today. What I'm
Oh.
going to ask you to do is share it. I gave you some extra cards.
Ooh.
This is my book called From Fire to Freedom. If you would tell people about it when you talk about it. This is my story about what happened to me when I was 50.
Yeah,
and I
buddy.
got the big bad boot. But also my life turned around with 79 other people on Long Island. There's 79 people in my book. And they all went from bottom up because when you lose your job at 50, you
Yeah,
can't
it's
go
tough.
back to what
It's
you
rough.
used to do.
Right.
So I teach people and I coach people about a lot of different things. And the Breakfast Club started as a joke, and here we are 13 years later. We have books, we write books, we publish books. We also have a show, which is fabulous, thanks to the owner of this place, Gregg, who will be back soon. I'm missing his picture today. We forgot to put it up, but we usually have a picture of him on the set because he's been sick. We miss him, and this is a great place. How do you like the place? Isn't this neat?
This is a really nice place.
Well, I'm about
Very
to go
nice.
get a drink behind this bar right now. I'm about to be first thing as soon as I walked in, I said, "Yeah, buddy, time to get lit on radio."
Tonight we have karaoke. Is it tonight, girls? Tonight there's karaoke at 7:30 or 7?
I
7.
see the nice stage over there for the band.
We have a beautiful stage, yes.
Yes.
And you have a
Very
band.
nice. Yes, I have a band.
And you
which-
should probably talk to Jenny and let her know what is the name of your band again?
Lady Sabbath, but
Lady
we haven't
Sabbath.
done anything since the pandemic. A lot of things happened, so hopefully we will.
Do you do country? Because that
back
hat, you
together.
certainly look like a country girl.
I guess I could if I wanted to. Funny story is, my very first song I played out live, I was heading down to Mississippi where I have family on my mother's side with my grandfather and my step-grandma. And he goes, I think we're going to stop in Nashville. And he knew I just started playing drums. Maybe I was playing on kit about a year. And I would think I was around 15. And he goes into the bar. He buys everybody a drink. And he's like, my granddaughter plays drums. And I want her to get up with the band right now. And I'm like, what? And he's like, don't worry about it. So I sit there and they go, so I go, what song do you want to do? He goes, do you know Elvira? I'm going, yeah, I know Elvira. He's like, don't worry, 2-step. He's like, bump, 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 bump. And I'm like, all right, I could do it. But I mean, like, my first song is a country song that I've ever
Okay.
played out live, which is
Really?
ironic.
That's
yeah.
something. I like country. I do. But
So-
I don't listen to it a lot, but I like it when I hear it.
yeah.
Patsy Cline is one of my favorites, believe it or not. Crazy is my favorite song, okay?
That's a
kinda
very good
sick,
song.
But I love the song. So the both of you in your packets got free Salt Cave opportunity to go to our Salt Cave sponsor, which is right down the block. You need to make an appointment with Tranquility Spa. The phone number's there. You and your wife or you and your friend or your son or whoever you want to bring with you. It's very good for your breathing. Have you ever been in a Salt Cave, either one of you?
No. What
It's
is
quite
that?
an experience. It's full of salt. It's a big enclosed place. It's cold. You breathe it in. You can do yoga in there. You can just relax in there. It brings you down. They have some nice music. And then when you leave the Salt Cave, you can get a massage at a discount because of the show. And you sit in a chair, and they massage you from your feet all the way up to your neck and your head. You have headphones on, and you go in a different world.
Nice.
So I'd like you both to call them, make
Yeah,
an
I'm down.
appointment. It's right in the
That sounds
neighborhood.
unique.
Yeah, it is. It's very
You know,
different.
in Brooklyn, we have the Russians. They like to put the.
Well, they do the water thing.
Yeah,
right?
I was just
Oh.
gonna go to that. So, oh my God, they got this thing.
They
with,
got
like,
the hose where
first
they
of all-
really
yeah,
hose
first of
them
all, they gotta
down
make they gotta
and
make the
they're
sauna
nude. Is
Is
400
that
degrees.
Chinese torture?
Well,
It
this
probably
is
is.
Russian
Yeah, it's
torture.
Russian torture. First of all, they got the room, the sauna that's 955 degrees, and then there's always that one like Russian guy with his clothes off all the time. Like,
Yeah,
the
I've
old guy who's
seen-
like,
I've
"Well,
seen
no problem. And he puts, like,
Movie.
another-
I saw a movie about that
and
one.
he puts like peppermint leaves or something on
Yeah.
there, and it just blows everybody
But
out
I'm
of the
sure
room.
it
They're all
feels really
dying.
good, I bet.
Yeah, and
So
once you-
Tranquility Spa is our sponsor, 700 Franklin Avenue, Franklin Square. You call Angela, you make your appointment, and you're going to love it. If you went anywhere else, it would cost you triple the price for a massage. $30 is 30
Wow.
bucks.
That's cheap for a massage.
And and also the Soul Cave is free because of the show. And then we have our Puro Jewelers, Teddy and Christina. They're at 1033 Hempstead Turnpike, Franklin Square. Beautiful jewelry. These are one of his pieces. Beautiful pearls, every kind of jewelry you want. And they are big sponsors of the show. And then Jackson Hewitt Prince. It's basically where you do your taxes, and it's on Hempstead Turnpike, 978 Franklin Square. Those are our sponsors that help keep us going. We loved having you both. You're very interesting guests today. I love having interesting guests. And you both have big smiles. And I encourage everyone that saw the show to like it, share it, and call these great people. And as far as this, I'm going to try to come.
Oh, wonderful.
And I'll give you a prize. You're going to be having a raffle?
Yes, we're doing raffles
I always
there.
give you a prize.
Yes.
So I'll give you a prize. I'll get in touch with you because we have time yet.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate it.
see if some of the gals want to go because this sounds like a lot of fun.
It's going to be a nice event, a nice
Yeah.
festival, bike event.
It
nice
sounds like it's a
run.
lot of work, though.
Yeah, and we're also doing virtual. So for those of you that cannot make it and maybe are in another state, somewhere else, if you want to ride in unison with us, kickstands are up on the 11th on October 3rd. You could just hashtag, which is our initials, Rocking the Road for a Cure, RTRFAC, MC Run for Breast Cancer 2112. And if you like to give a donation for $15, you could go on our website and you'll get a World Strong pin that we'll send to you. Just tie a pink bandana on your motorcycle and download some video and photos onto our hashtag.
That's really nice. You got a great program.
So we just want everybody to put the word out about breast cancer, and October is Breast Cancer
Yeah,
Month.
it is. I have a few actually this month.
And
people
please,
that have been
everybody,
calling.
get your mammograms and do your annual checkups. Men, too, by the way. Men also, please, self-checks. If you feel anything, go in for the mammogram. The men are stubborn, I know.
They're
So-
stubborn about a lot of things. When it comes to health, they're stubborn.
But I'm going to just say we've serviced quite a few men as well through our organization.
Wow.
So it does happen.
Sure.
So
Well, on a good note, this was a great show, and I thank you both for coming. You gave me a lot of laughs, both of you, and I hope you'll be back and tell your friends about it.
will do.
It's great.
Thank you.
You're going to see it on Facebook. You can share it everywhere you want, and you can recall it anytime you want.
Great.
And that is a wrap.